He grabbed the phone from me and immediately walked away, very mad at himself. And I panicked.
I saw him first. He's all mine. You can't have him. No, I saw him first. I saw him first. I saw him first. Now have several seats.
Hi guys, welcome back to my podcast. It's your host, Angie, and we're back today with another episode, another Reddit story, well, multiple Reddit stories today. I think I tried to do 2 or 3. Let's see how many we can get in, depending on how long they are. But I'm back. Good to be back for the 5th week in a row. Thank you. And I have to say, you guys, thank you. I really mean that. The last episode, not the last one now. So the last one before the last one, the one about taking the fiance home to meet the family but leaving with no fiance, people really loved that. And, you know, a lot of people watched it and I'm so happy about that. You know, the views are going up a little bit. And I'm so gassed. So it's motivating and I'm excited to be here today. Of course, I'm recording after work. As I do, because that's when I can find time. Wednesday night, that's my recording schedule. Okay, enough. Let's get started. My first story today is from the Am I the Asshole subreddit. Am I the asshole for refusing to go into another room so my fiance and the baby could sleep alone? Why isn't it my baby? Why isn't it our baby? Why is it the baby? Let's get into it. My fiance, Jen, 29 female, just gave birth to our daughter 2 months ago. Already the asshole. The fact that he's already having trouble this early on. Okay. She strictly breastfeeds, so as you can imagine, she gets far less sleep than I do. Okay. At least he's acknowledging that. During the day, I help with changing or holding her, but all the feedings are up to Jen. The baby outright refuses bottles. We have tried several times, but ultimately we're both okay with this. Okay. Anyways, I'm kind of an independent startup video game developer. I did one video game 2 years ago, but it honestly wasn't that great. So when I do get revenue from it, it's definitely not much or even a livable wage. Okay, so he makes video games. He doesn't think he's great at it. Doesn't make him that much money. This time around, however, I'm working with 4 other people and the game is turning out great. I also work 9 to 5, but after getting home, having dinner with my fiance and looking after the baby for a while, I jump on and work on the game. For the past 2 to 3 nights, I've been up till 1 to 2 a.m. working on the game and I've been ultra tired. I snore like a maniac when I'm tired. It's super embarrassing because I truly sound like a Mack truck. But yesterday, the baby had her 2-month shot and she was so fussy. She cried way more than normal. It was super hard for my fiance to get her to sleep. I finally went to bed around 2 a.m. and my fiance immediately asked me to sleep on the couch so I wouldn't wake the baby up with my snoring. Fair? I said no. What? You said what? Wait. Before I continue reading, he's just acknowledged that the baby is in a fussy state where she got her shots and now she's been cranky and can't sleep. So the wife finally gets the baby to sleep at around 2 a.m. And now she's begging, and you've acknowledged your own snoring. You've acknowledged that you sound like a truck, right? And your wife is saying, can you please sleep on the couch so your snoring doesn't wake the baby up? How is that a difficult ask? What part of that is too hard to comprehend? What part of that even is debatable? That's not a debate. Sit on the bloody couch. Like, I don't understand why your answer will be no to that. That's the silliest thing I've ever heard. Like, it's just so stupid. I can't fathom why you would say no. Like, I just can't understand. What, you're tired? Just sleep on the couch. You're not tired enough if you can argue at 2 a.m. in the morning. You're not tired enough. If you're really tired, you sleep anywhere. You will sleep standing. I can fall asleep anywhere. I can fall asleep standing. I can fall asleep sitting. I can fall asleep midway through standing and sitting. I can fall asleep in any position. But let's keep reading. Right, so he said, I said no. I was so tired and the couch is not comfortable at all. I had to work early. I wanted to sleep. If you had to work early and you want to get a good night's sleep, why didn't you just sleep before 2 a.m.? Why did you're being irresponsible. This is your business. This is your own fault. You brought this upon yourself. The poor baby needs to sleep. No, unacceptable. Who cares? You're uncomfortable. So what? You're a new parent. You're meant to be uncomfortable. New parents are uncomfortable. Everyone knows that. Boo-hoo, you want to get yourself a good night's sleep. How about your wife, who would probably, no, not probably, most likely have to be with the baby when she wakes up, trying to get the baby to fall asleep again. If your loud snoring wakes the baby up, I highly doubt it would opt into taking care of the baby if the baby wakes up. I highly doubt that. So now the crying baby is going to become the wife's responsibility all over again, trying to get her to fall asleep. He wasn't doing any of that. He wasn't doing any of the cradling, trying to get her to sleep. He was playing his video games. Fair enough, it's a job, we get it. But now, don't make it your wife and your baby's responsibility, or don't make yourself a liability rather to them. Don't make yourself a liability to your wife and your baby. Like, grow a pair, you're a man, act right. You're a grown-ass man, act right. Like, what's going on here? Your couch is not comfortable. Suck it up, sleep on the floor. The floor is nice and hard and cushioned. Put a few pillows there and sleep on the floor. Who cares? Sleep on the floor. Your baby is more important right now. Sleep on the bloody floor. Anyway, let's keep reading now. He said, I had to work early. I wanted to sleep. She didn't fight it, but she called me a fucking prick. Pardon my French, and walked out of the room with the baby. Again, he keeps saying the baby. My baby. I mean, our baby. I woke up this morning to the baby in the crib in the nursery and my fiance asleep on the floor with no pillows or blankets. She still wouldn't talk to me. And you're asking if you're the asshole. Let's talk about this. I know this might seem like the most unrelatable. What I'm about to say right now might seem like the most unrelatable thing. But this is why I don't split bills 50-50 with men. I know. Before you go on and on and on, it's overly talked about. It's overly, yeah, we get it. You know, no one wants to hear about who pays on a date anymore. No one wants to hear about splitting bills anymore. But this is exactly why I do not ever want to go everything half 50-50 with a man, because nothing is truly 50-50 in a relationship. Just take this for an example. He's whining. He probably went to sleep on the bed, by the way. He probably woke the baby up, and that's why she's had to sleep on the floor. He couldn't sleep on the couch because it's uncomfortable and he has to go to work. But she is sacrificing her well-being, a good sleep. She's sacrificing herself. She's sacrificing comfort to lay with the baby just so the baby is okay. That's what you should do as a good parent. That is the level of sacrifice it takes to be a good parent, especially to a newborn. You can't act like this. I know the majority of childcare, child nurturing, all of that lies on the woman, just because women are just innately more nurturing. We give birth to the child. We held it in our tummy for 9 months. Like, we feel this bond that's most likely a lot stronger than any man can feel with their child. The mother probably feels it, if not threefold, probably double, right? I get that. But the fact that your wife has already done all of this work of carrying the baby for 9 months, going through labor, okay, breastfeeding for probably 1.5 years, however long you choose to breastfeed. Your body, your hormones are just going back to normal maybe 2 years after having a kid. Your body isn't yours for probably another 2 years. You're trying to lose baby weight. You go through so much. Women go through so much just to give life, just to bring out life to this world, just to become a mom and be a good mom. Women sacrifice so much. So I'll be damned if I ever split bills 50-50 with a man. Caveat, I didn't say I would not contribute in my relationship financially, but going 50-50 all the way halves, that is not going to happen. Because guess what? Who had to bear the burden of taking care of their baby, that he keeps calling the baby? Who had sleepless nights? Who had to lay on the cold floor bare? No pillows, no support, no back support. She probably felt, she wasn't even thinking of herself. She just like, the child comes first. Like all she could think about is, let this child be okay. Let my baby be okay. As long as my baby sleeps, I'm okay. That's the level of self-sacrificial that women are and have to be when they become mothers. That is the level of self-sacrificial that men never, unless the man is a single parent, unless the man is solely taking care of the child, that is a level of self-sacrifice that no man will ever experience. All the things I said, from being pregnant, carrying the baby, giving birth to the baby, breastfeeding, taking care of the baby, no man experiences that level of self-sacrifice. So the next time you pick a man, the next time you pick a man to call your own, the next time you pick a husband, the next time you pick a boyfriend, the next time you say yes to your fiance, think about it. Think deeply about it, because this is not the kind of man you want to be in a partnership with. This is not the kind of man you want to have a kid with. He doesn't care. He doesn't care about you. And the worst part is that he acknowledges these things. It's not that he doesn't see it. He's not stupid. Baby just got a shot. She's fussy. He snores bloody loudly. The wife is tired. Everybody's tired. It's 2 a.m. in the morning. He knows the facts. He wrote down the facts. He didn't even try to hide the fact. He wrote down the facts correctly. And yet, he still acted. I don't even know what the right word is. It's baffling. It's baffling to hear things like this. And it's just ridiculous. I can't deal with stories like this because it's disappointing. Like, your wife just had a baby 2 months ago. You should be at a call and beck and call. Is that what they call it? You should be, giving her foot massages, just taking care of everything she needs. She shouldn't have to tell you to be quiet so the baby can sleep. You should do that. You should think about that yourself, and you should use your own discretion, your own common sense to say, oh, it's 2 a.m. Baby's asleep. Let me go sleep on the couch. Anything so my baby's okay. Anything so my wife is okay. Do you even love her? Do you love me? Do you even love me? And yet they'll call us crazy if the woman started acting mad. I mean, he's already saying that he's surprised that his wife isn't talking to him. Why would she speak to you? You clearly don't love her. You don't love your wife, okay? You need to sort yourself out, like sort it out. Yes, full on asshole. You are the asshole. I don't even want to get into the comments. No comment can convince me. Asshole. That's my verdict. Next dilemma. Am I the asshole for not wanting to eat street food on vacation with my wife? Let's get into it. Okay, so me and my wife are currently on vacation to our home country here in Southeast Asia. And she wanted to take me to a street food stall, which I would normally never eat at. First of all, this guy has no commas, no full stop. Like, it's so hard to read. I literally stopped talking to somebody because he didn't use commas and full stop. And it's so hard to read a sentence with no bloody commas. Like, it's just one long ass sentence. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How can you write 7 lines and no commas? Just one full stop at the end. So pardon me if it seems like I'm reading incoherently, because the writing is very incoherent. I'm sorry, it's not my fault. Let's start again. So me and my wife are currently on vacation to our home country here in Southeast Asia. And she really wanted to take me to a street food stall, which I would normally never eat at, but she convinced me to go. When we got there, it was really unhygienic. Like the guy wasn't even wearing gloves or anything. So I refused to eat it because, well, who knows where the hands have been. This sounds like something my stepmom would say. Like she is very particular about eating at people's houses, for instance. She's like, you don't know what their kitchen's like. And I feel the same way. Sometimes you would like, I've been to people's kitchen, I'm just like, never. I don't want to eat. I don't want to eat anything. I don't want a glass of water. I'm good. So I get it, I'm not done reading, but so far I kind of understand what he's trying to say. This caused my wife to be mad at me for being too posh, in quote. Okay, before we keep reading, I don't like that. There's a difference between posh and hygiene. This is just simple hygiene. Like, you're not being hygienic. You're not wearing gloves when you're making food, or, I don't know what the street food is, but you would at least at the bare minimum hope that this person has gloves on and an apron and probably something to cover their hair. She got mad at me for being too posh and refusing to eat something because the guy wasn't wearing any gloves, which she claims is perfectly normal. Girl, I don't know where you've been eating at, but that is not normal. Like, what does she mean is perfectly normal? Go by. She brought up a couple of times I refused to do things with her because they weren't up to my normal standards. Okay. However, I think I was correct in this specific scenario because, well, I'm not eating food that some stranger without gloves or running water cooked. So, so okay. There's two things in my mind right now. There are two things in my mind. It's either it's truly about the hygiene, and he is someone that, is fussy about what he eats, where he eats. Like I said earlier, my stepmom is like that. Like, if she finds that the environment is dirty or just not hygienic, not clean, she wouldn't want to eat from them. Same with me. I'm very particular about things like that. I get irritated very quickly. Things like disgust me very quickly. I need things to be clean. I've just grown up like that. I need my space to be clean, especially the kitchen. So it's either one is very particular in that sense, or two, which I'm hoping is not the case, or if he isn't Asian, because he made it a thing to mention where the vacation is. He said hometown, home country in Southeast Asia. So I'm getting a sense that he may be non-Asian. He may be from a different race, a different ethnicity, perhaps, and his wife is Southeast Asian. So I don't know what Southeast Asian country now they've gone to, but I can speak for Nigeria, for instance, that's more like developing. I can see that happening in Nigeria. I can see people having food stalls and not, on the street and not wearing gloves because that's not really going to be their first priority. In a country like that where people are just hustling, trying to make a quick buck, like trying to survive, they're not thinking hygiene first. They're just trying to sell food. They're trying to make money. So I can see this being a third world country that isn't very developed, and this is just the norm in that country. And the girlfriend knows that this is just the norm and it's fine. Everybody eats it. They're healthy. They're all right. No problems. But the guy is sort of looking down on it. That's. I may be wrong. But again, I said this is the second instinct that I've got. First instinct is genuinely just very particular about, cleanliness and hygiene. Second is that your boyfriend is looking down on your country, which I would hope is not the case. I mean, I get it. If you're from a developed country, it might seem really odd to you. And like I said, even I get very squeamish and disgusted rather easily. So I can't say for myself, if I ever go back to Nigeria and I see street food, someone's not handling it properly or in a hygienic way, I can't say I'm going to buy it. But coming from Nigeria, we had this thing called suya, which is just roasted meat. And thinking about it, they didn't wear gloves. And we would just eat meat. We would just buy meat on a stick from them. And I doubt these people wore gloves. But if I went back to Nigeria now, I don't think I would eat it, because in my head I think it would just be more highlighted to me. It would be more blatant now in my face. It would just be more in my face that, oh, they're not wearing gloves, because now living in the UK, it's something that you'd expect. It's just something they do more often here, something they think about more often here. I think it's just more regulated. When you sell food here, you know, you have to think about hygiene, whereas in Nigeria, no one's really regulating shit. No one's regulating shit. And I think that's what's going on in this guy's girlfriend's country, and he's looking down on it. It looks like his girlfriend has pointed out several times that he doesn't like to do the same things that he likes to do, and perhaps he has quite a bougie taste indeed. And she likes the smaller, simpler things in life. So it's worth just talking about, you know, speak about this with your girlfriend. What's the real reason you don't want to eat the food? Is it really the hygiene, or do you just want to go out to more fancy, nicer, sophisticated places? Let her know. Maybe she wouldn't mind either going to a nice, you know, 5-star restaurant, Michelin star restaurant, if that's what you truly want. Take her on a date there and pay for it. Next dilemma. I'm going on the subreddit TIFU to find a juicy story. So this one is titled, "Today I fucked up by looking at my boyfriend's phone." Never a good idea, but let's get into it. TIFU by looking at my boyfriend's phone. Well, actually, it was yesterday. He was showing me a conversation from his best friend, and I read something that I shouldn't have. Wonder what it is. Lately, my boyfriend and I have been talking about engagement. Okay. He told me that last week, was it last week or the week before? It's the week before. I read a couple of engagement stories and I went, ooh, is someone around me getting engaged? No one has gotten engaged yet. I'm still waiting. But I just said, oh, maybe it's a sign someone around me is getting engaged. And now another engagement story. Lately, my boyfriend and I have been talking about engagement. He told me that he was going to propose in 2024, between February and July. I love this man already. I love a man that makes a plan. We love this. We stand. We looked at rings together. I gave him many different options and told him what I liked and didn't like. He said I wasn't allowed to look at certain conversations because of what he was saying about our engagement. He wants a bunch of it to be a surprise. I love that. Well, yesterday we were talking about friend 2 and he was talking to friend 2 about friend 1. Okay. He was showing me the conversation and I kept reading. He told me to just keep reading. And I read that he was talking about the engagement to friend 2 since friend 1 was engaged. I read the month he was going to propose and I panicked. He grabbed the phone from me and immediately walked away, very mad at himself. I kept saying I'm sorry over and over again. Girl, it's not your fault. Why are you apologizing? He said read the message and you're reading. You should have hidden it better, and I don't think it's too late to switch it up a little bit. Like this is not something that's not salvageable, you know? Right, so she says, he said that it wasn't my fault, but I just kept reading and not realizing what I had done. I told him later that day that I was not allowed to go on his phone until he has proposed. And now he has to go to everyone and change the date. Oh, so that's the problem. Okay. I thought he was going to get mad at her for looking through, you know, the messages and finding out, blah, blah, blah. But it looks like they're still, you know, on a good note. He looks like this is a good man. It's a good man. It's a good man. This is a good man. I said it from the start. And you guys know, like I said before, I'm not a man bashing girl. I am not a man hating. I love men. But some of these men on Reddit just make it so easy to hate on them. Anyway, when I say a good man, I rate it, I praise them, I acknowledge it, because that's what we want. He's a good man. So she adds an edit. Please bear with me. This is my second ever post. Thank you to those who have said nice things. We really appreciate them. Every relationship dynamic is different. Please respect ours. I wonder what people have been saying about their relationship dynamic. It seems like a very open, comfortable, just very engaging, very collaborative relationship. What's the problem with this relationship? Is it that the guy was showing his girlfriend his phone, or that they planned their engagement in advance, or they looked at rings together? None of these seem like out of the ordinary to me. Maybe the looking through the conversation bit, but if you're gossiping and you want it to be more like juicy, if you're gossiping about your friends and you want context, of course you just give her the phone when you've got nothing to hide. In this case, he was trying to hide the whole engagement saga, but it's not doing anything shady in particular, so I don't see a reason why he should hide his phone. I think Reddit is projecting. These men on Reddit are probably projecting, because they could never. They be up to some naughty, nasty, disgusting, unholy things behind their girlfriend's back, and that's why they don't want the girls to look through their phone. I started this dilemma with saying it's never a good idea to go through your man's phone. It's never a good idea. But in this instance, I think it's very much like Warren said. He asked her to look through the phone. I don't see a problem here. So I wonder where Reddit is, finding fault. Let's keep reading. She says, he wants everyone, both families, there to see the proposal. That's why there was a date set. To those saying that we're too immature to be getting married, sorry that you can't be a little immature with your partner. Sometimes it's the little stupid or silly things that make a relationship stronger. We've been together for over a year and are old enough to get married. We enjoy the little things, and making them surprises is one of them. Okay. I find it interesting that she said we're old enough to get married, which makes me think they're really young. It makes me think that they're probably very early 20s, maybe just about 20, 21. And I don't think that changes my opinion regardless of what I've just said about this dilemma. Doesn't change my opinion. But I think I just needed to point that out. The fact that she said we're old enough to get married, that just stuck out to me. And it's because I know that no one old enough to get married will say I'm old enough to get married, if that makes sense. Anyway, this isn't the biggest FU ever, but I figured I would share a nice story. Oh, okay. She's saying this isn't the biggest TIFU story ever, but she wanted to share a nice story. It's something that people can laugh at or relate to. So she has another edit number 2. I wasn't looking through his phone. It was showing me a conversation because I read faster than he talks. And we just get frustrated if he reads it to me. Okay, I want to see what the comments are saying, because for some reason Reddit is sort of blaming her for whatever it is. I don't know what it is, but I don't see a fault here. So I want to see what Reddit sees that I don't see, because I can't see it all. So let's see what Reddit is seeing. So the first comment I can see here actually happens to be a positive one. This person says, I totally knew the proposal was coming before it happened, and it didn't dampen the moment at all. It was still everything I wanted, and we're going nearly 5 years married. Future congratulations for when it happens. I like that. See, you can tell a hater from someone that's not a hater. I said earlier that it's probably the men that cheat on their girlfriends that are having trouble, understanding why a man will let her look through his phone. Because clearly this girl who is happily married is encouraging whatever it is that's going on. She's like, don't worry about it. You're still going to be excited when the wedding comes. Even if you know when, you're still going to be happy. You're still going to be elated. You're still going to enjoy it. So don't worry about it. And I like that. That's someone that's truly happy. We stand a happy couple when we find them. Oh dear. Okay, another person, responded to that saying, yes, my wife knew it was coming because we've talked about it over visa issues. Don't know about this one. She still had tears in her eyes. I think the anticipation even added something to it. So yes, OP, which is the original poster, surprise is overrated. So this person again is seconding what the first person said, saying, his now wife knew the proposal was coming. It doesn't ruin the moment. Whether or not it's a surprise, it's still going to be fun. It's still going to be enjoyable. You're still going to have tears in your eyes. It's still going to be a joyful moment. So don't worry about it, sweetheart. Let's get one more comment. And this time I want to look for one that's like taking the piss. So let's see why they're getting on to her. This person made a joke saying he should keep the date because now it would be the least expected date for him to propose. So he's trying to do a reverse psychology thing on her. Let's see. Where are the bad comments? Where are the nasty people? Right, okay. So I found the comments saying, how old are you two? You both seem way too young and immature to marry yet. And how long have you been together? This person sounds like a hater, and I called it. What's your business? Like, how did he even get, or she even get, the age or immaturity from that story? Like, I'm not getting it. I didn't get anything from that story that screamed immature or young to me, except for when, she actually said old enough to get married. So maybe she just didn't want to say the age. Maybe she's indeed young, or maybe it's just a mind your business thing where she's like, I'm not going to tell you my age. I'm not going to tell a stranger on the internet my age. I think this person is just a hater and probably can't find someone to marry them. So they're hating on someone on the internet. Because getting engaged is a big deal. Okay? Because getting engaged, how you get engaged, where you get engaged, when you get engaged, all of that is a big deal. And more so to women. Okay? This person doesn't understand it, and clearly this person is not engaged nor married and clearly sounds like a hater. Stop hating on people on the internet and get a life. I said what I said. All right, let's end it there, guys. I hope you enjoyed another episode of Reddit readings. I'm going to be back next week with more Reddit stories. And I want you guys to tell me if you like it. Comment. You're giving me thumbs up, which I appreciate, on my YouTube. But also drop a comment. Let me know who's listening. Drop a comment. Let me know where you're listening from. I can see on YouTube where people are watching from, but I think it just makes it more real, when actual humans are commenting. So please drop me a comment on my YouTube page. If you're watching on Spotify, follow. If you're watching on YouTube, like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Share on your Instagram story, share on your Facebook story, share on your Snapchat if you use Snapchat, and all the good stuff. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you again next week. Bye.